Welcome back, boys and girls, children of all ages. We thank you guys for staying up late with us for this late night, but it's going to be a great night edition of your favorite show with the greatest tag team in sports, culture, entertainment, radio, TV, whatever you want to call it. We are them. I am the one and only, the PG, Mykell Mathieu. That's my guy. Five-star E, or some call him Lamsterdamus, and we are here to talk about a lot of big-time news that has gone on today, this past couple days, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for this one. I got my guy E Lamb with me. What's up, Eric?
Yo, what's up, world? You know who it is. The tightest tag team tandem this side of the galaxy. Welcome to the Misfits, where we encourage you not to fit in, but find a way to stand out. And listen to me, there is some news that definitely stood out. We got a lot to discuss. It's some major things shaking and happening here in Los Angeles. Dodgers, they look like the Dodgers. The Angels look like the Angels, but buckle your seatbelts because this right here is getting ready to take off. Kels, what we got first for the people?
Man, so we gonna start off with the major news that happened today in Los Angeles sports. For you guys that are new to the show, as you can see, the Sporting Tribune. Shout out to our guys CSC today. They did a great job. It was dope. Go and check it out here on X if you guys missed it. But we're writers here. We covered the Los Angeles Rams, and I know that news came out of left field. Yeah,
Nowhere.
out of nowhere. It was like, okay, let's see what's going to happen. I figured AJ Brown was going to move, right? You see Odell Beckham get signed, and bam, you get hit with this trade that shook up the NFL. Honestly, Myles Garrett, right? If people felt the Rams, that's how I put it. If people felt that the Rams were miles away from winning the Super Bowl, not anymore because they have
They
a
got
Myles
they got
Garrett.
they got the miles that they needed. Listen to me.
Yeah.
When in the words of Muhammad Ali, I shook up the world. Listen, I'm sitting in my car getting ready to hit up the dentist, and I hear Saquon Barkley talking about Myles Garrett and Jared Verse getting ready to go back to his home state. I'm like,
What
what?
are you talking about?
What is you talking about? Like what? And then I hear, Matthew Stafford, he gets another piece that helps him, contend for a Super Bowl. I look at my phone, da-da-da, da-da-da, Adam Schefter's tweet comes through. I drop my phone in my car, bro. That's how flabbergasted. That's how out of left field this was. I'm talking about Myles Garrett, and all you had to give up was Jared Verse and a few picks that are going to be late, like late picks in the first, second, and third round, one each
Yeah.
year. Man, give me that. And it's crazy because I have had conversations telling people a smart GM should try to amass as much Hall of Fame talent as possible because I think that's going to set the tone and the culture in the building of what it takes to win and of what it takes to be great. And they're like, "Nah, you can't do that. You can't do that. You got to give them too much." Let's Snead. What's the motto? F them picks.
F them picks.
F them pigs part two. Go to TST. You can go check it out right now. You can go, put this on in another tab. Go to TST right now. I just published an article on the Sporting Tribune giving you my thoughts, my
Yeah.
perspective, my opinion. It's some little for those of you that like stats, there's some stats in there sprinkled in. But listen,
But
if
hey,
you thought if you thought the Rams were, light years away from the Seahawks, no,
yeah,
no,
like
no,
I
no.
said, if you thought they were miles away, miles apart, not anymore. Because it's like this was just the perfect move for them. I know you said it's a little bit. They gave up a lot, right? Miles Garrett, 30 years old.
Oh,
You
I don't
traded
even think it's a
a
lot.
25. I think it's a lot because you can trade a 25-year-old Jared Verse. Was a year ago was a defensive player of the year, rookie version of that. You trade a first, second, and third, but you got to do what you got to do, man. Like LA is about. We talk about it all the time, Elam. LA is about championships and trying to win, and that's exactly what this move is all about. You know me, I like to compare things, and this move truly reminded me of late 90s when the Green Bay Packers added Reggie White to the mix. And he was that piece that put them over the top for Brett Favre to get his only Super Bowl win. And that Green Bay team played in back-to-back Super Bowls. And this move was perfect because, first of all, you came into this offseason and you add Jalen Watson, you add Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs to where you're like, all right, we got the corners. Now the hope is that our pass rush can get back to the way that it finished 2 years ago when you were a game away from the Super Bowl, right? And now you go get the guy who has the all-time record for the most sacks in a single season, Myles Garrett. And it's just a perfect storm. And, you know, whether you like Garrett or not, we can't deny the talent. And most NFL and football fans are going to love him. And I know that LA was going crazy today because they're like, we are really the front runners as of now. And it's just, it was a
Well,
great move.
hold on. I gotta stop you right there. You said LA was going crazy. Listen, LA is not a Ram City yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet. Not yet.
It's far from it. It's far from
Yeah.
it, but they are taking strides. They are quickly amassing fans. This city is still a Cowboys, Raiders, and
Niners.
49ers city,
Yeah. Throw the
right?
Packers in
Like,
there.
no, is Packers is
No,
like that's
no
tier
cheese
two.
heads.
Yeah, that's tier two. But listen to
Got you.
me. There were a lot of like pissed off people, flummoxed, flabbergasted, surprised. I'm talking
Yeah.
about speechless, especially those people who are fans of teams in the NFC West. You're telling me that you got to face Myles Garrett twice a year? Listen, you know my phone was blowing up. All the 49er fans that I know were like, Elam,
I
what
felt
the hell
bad.
just happened? I'm like, hey, let's
They
sneak.
trying to win.
They trying to win.
Yeah, they're trying to win, and this is the crazy part, Elam, because you get Myles Garrett 4 days ago. Number 99, Aaron Donald posts a video working out, and if I can remember, maybe I heard wrong, but I think there's been a conversation that hey, Myles, if you come to LA, maybe I'll come and rock with you. So if this move somehow brings back Aaron Donald as well on some type of deal, like now this defense is that much more scarier, right? You got the DBs. Last year was like, okay, maybe we need some DB help. You got the DBs. And now you add in Myles, and then if AD comes back with Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Braden Fisk, like it is going to be unfair for a team that was this close to being in the Super Bowl, this close from hosting the NFC Championship and then getting to the Super Bowl. So it was just one of those. You know what it reminded me of, Elam?
What's
With
that?
us being in LA and being Laker fans, whenever a big Laker trade or news drops, that's what it kind of felt like. It was like you like, wait, what? Right? I can remember when the Lakers traded for Pau Gasol, what that felt like being in college to see like, yo, Lakers just traded what for who? Like, wow, we about to make a run, and it led to what it led to, right?
No,
Anthony
hold on.
Davis.
That's
Yeah,
the only thing that I thought of. The last
yeah.
time the energy and just the shock factor, the shock level in the city, even like resembled anything was when Luka Doncic got traded to the Lakers.
Oh,
That's
Luca.
it.
Okay.
When
Yeah.
Luka got traded, like everybody was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
I'm look, man, I'm getting goosebumps, bro. I
Yeah.
got
It
chills in right now.
it
I'm
felt
like,
just like that, bro.
I was like, yo, this isn't real. And it's crazy because I got to ask you this. You know, I'm a big movie buff, right?
Yeah.
I love movies. I love quoting. My favorite TV show is The Office of all time. Um, but if you had to quote one movie, right, on this trade, what would it be?
I'm I don't even know if I can. I'm trying to think of a movie that has anything like it. Uh I ain't gonna give you a movie, I'm gonna give you a show. Key and
Okay.
Peele, right? When they spoofed the KG, they said you can do anything. You can fly. You can actually fly. Like it was just he was just saying outlandish stuff, and it was like this guy is nuts. But that's how you feel as a Rams fan. It's like, yo, we can do anything. Just imagine what was that, a month ago, couple months ago, when we were at the draft, and just the side that people got after the team drafted Ty Simpson in the first round is like, what? We're not going to add anything to help us win a championship. Like, here we go again. It's going to be another season that we just got to hope everything falls into place for us. But who would have known June 1st would come and this trade happens? So that's what it just reminded me of.
You
Like,
said who would have known? I'll tell you.
nah,
Les
Les
Snead.
probably knew. Yeah, Les
Les
knew.
Snead. And it's
Yeah,
so crazy because I remember we were both there at the draft. And I remember, in the press conference after it's over, Les came out, Sean came out, and it just looked like Sean was pissed off at the pick. He didn't
yeah,
look happy. He didn't look enthused. That has been discussed ad nauseum. But Les Snead was like, there's nothing that we can do today in April that's going to reassure or that's going to assure that we're winning the Super Bowl. And I'm like, I went back and, and writing this article, I went back to watch the presser, and you can see then, like, look at Les's countenance, bro. Look at how he is sitting there. You can tell like the wheels are turning. I'm gonna tell you like where this trade happened. When Myles got extended, when he got that extension, the
yeah,
language in that contract, like it allowed for some conversations to take place. I'm
yep,
pretty sure that there were several teams around the league, the Eagles being one of them, the 49ers, I think the Chargers probably made a call, but people were asking like, yo, can Myles be had? And if so, at what price? Enter Les Snead.
yeah,
Les like hounded them. Les was like, look, let's get a deal done. What's it going to take? What do you
yeah,
want in return? And for listen, there is no trade that is going to give you equal value of Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is
I
a bona fide first ballot Hall of Famer. He is going to get
agreed.
his own section like Dion, Reggie White, Lawrence Taylor, Jerry
Yep.
Rice, Joe Mo. Like when you're talking about the elite of the elite, Myles Garrett's name is going to be in that.
But see, that's
But
what I think. Elam, sorry to cut you off, but I just think the Browns got a hell of a haul for him. Like when you
but it's
think
not going to
about
equal it. All everything that they're getting in return is not going to equal one Myles Garrett.
it,
It's not.
but it comes down to this. Because if the Rams don't win a Super Bowl within this stretch, then you have Jared Verse, who, we've covered him the last few years. I've been a fan since he was back at Florida State, right? If he can fully reach his potential, and you have that first round pick, you have the second round pick, third round pick that, now they can make some moves and will and deal to try to move up in drafts to get some other young studs to go with Verse on defense or add pieces on offense. Like if they can get everything to fall into place and Jared Verse can ball out, the guy's only 25, right? Like
Mykell,
Myles Garrett is 30.
you
So
sound like your ex-girlfriend talking about she gonna go on a date with 4 or 5 dudes. Listen, 4 or 5
hey,
dudes don't equal one of me's. You feel me?
okay,
That's
okay,
that's that's this situation. Regardless of the haul that you get back, you could draft, let's say, two other players that end up being all pros. We're
yeah.
talking about Myles Garrett, two-time defensive player of the year. You're not getting that. You're not. You're not.
Yeah, but it's just all on the Rams. Like as much we gotta praise Les. We got to praise this move. Now it comes down to there are no excuses on this field. Matthew Stafford is coming off an MVP season. You got Puka, you got Devontae, you got Kyron, Blake Corum, you got a plethora of tight ends, right? The defense is now stacked. There is no excuse why you shouldn't. They're at a place, Elam, where I'm like, it's not just about making the Super Bowl, it's about winning the Super Bowl. They should feel like we have the best team, barring any major injuries, right,
And
to
each
Garrett or Matthew Stafford. They should be the favorites to win the NFL Super Bowl and host it once again for the second time in a row, with it being back at SoFi Stadium. So the confidence level has to be at an all-time high, but that pressure is at an all-time high because it's literally championship or bust
or
for the
bust.
Los Angeles Rams.
Now listen to me. You already said it. The one thing that can derail this season is an injury to Matthew Stafford. If
Yeah,
something last season, his back held up. He, shout out to Alaric Jackson
yeah,
and Warren McClendon. They kept him clean. Can you do it another year? Because if Matthew Stafford, if anything goes awry with his back where he has to miss extended time, this trade is not going to look as bright, And now, granted, you got Ty Simpson. He's, your quarterback of the future, but throwing him in, and we've already had this conversation. I didn't think he
yeah.
had enough time and tape at Alabama to warrant. But that's based off of stuff that I've gleaned from like Bill Parcells and other talent evaluators.
No, yeah.
Can Ty Simpson hold up? Like the defense, and this is crazy. This defense is as good, if not better, than the Philadelphia Eagles that just smacked your Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey, take it easy there. But no, they like I said, that's why they have no excuse because as great as you need your quarterback to be and your offense to be, if you can have that defense that is hot, that can get after the quarterback, that takes you to the next level. And that's what you see when, like you see last year, Seattle, they weren't coming in with this crazy offense. Like the defense started to pick up, and that's what helped them be as great as they were. Than the Eagles before, even the years the Chiefs has won Super Bowls, it's because the defense has been, competent to pressure the quarterback, and Chris Jones was at his peak and things like that. That's how they beat the Niners in the Super Bowl, right? Chris Jones breaking loose, forcing an incomplete complete pass, leading to a field goal. The Chiefs get the ball, they go and score. They have
Well,
everything
The
that's
Chiefs
needed.
won Super Bowls because people forgot to block Chris Jones. It wasn't that Chris Jones broke loose. It was he just didn't get blocked.
He hard to block. What can I say? He's hard to deal with, But hey, this is crazy, man. Shout out to Myles Garrett. I know he's happy. He get to go from living in Cleveland to living in LA. He won no matter what. But he's on his LeBron,
And
man,
he
from
got his
Cleveland to
bag.
LA.
And
Huh?
he got his
Yeah.
bag.
And he
And
has
he
the
got his
bag.
bag.
So
That's the craziest part.
it's everything. Um, this move is everything, bro. Like now it's just
You
about
know what's
making it work.
crazy? Here are some early winners that I have in this trade. The
Okay.
obvious is Matthew Stafford, but it's three people for me: Braden Fisk, Kobe Turner, and Chris Shula.
Yeah.
Kobe Turner was fifth in terms
Oh,
of his win rate against double teams. He saw like 63, I think it 63% of the snaps that he played, he saw a double team. And he was fifth in terms of win rate. Braden Fisk was 14th on that list. He was like at 53%. You're telling me you're adding a Myles Garrett? There aren't enough people that you could like scheme up to block, both
yeah.
Kobe and
You
Myles. You
forgot
do that,
Byron.
then Braden, then Braden gets busy. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? If you do Kobe and Braden, then Byron gets busy. Myles gets busy. So this is literally is pick your poison. And my third winner is Chris Shula. Chris Shula should have been hired as a head coach during
Okay.
this coaching cycle.
He might be after this year.
It's not even a question. It's not even a question. All he has to do is not lose.
Yeah,
Like, that's it.
and just be incredible. Yeah, and you giving sh- for McDuffie, right? For Jalen Watson in the corners. Now you're going to have quarterbacks running for their lives to where now that defense, and those me watching the Chiefs and being a Chief fan and seeing these two corners, they are some sticky corners, Pauls. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some guys who are able to even cover when it gets a little crazy. Now to have this type of pass rush with Myles Garrett there, now their job becomes that much easier.
10
So
times
it's
easier.
yeah, it's
And
just it's
the only way
crazy.
you beat this, the only way you beat this defense is by short timing routes. And guess
Yeah,
what? Jalen Watson and Trent McDuffie both excel at that.
at
So
jamming. Yeah,
yeah, like off the
yeah,
line, like you have to have 3.5, 4 seconds in the pocket in order for the defense to break down. Like then you might be able to get something off on Trent or
yeah,
Jalen. But you telling me you like you'll have 2 seconds in the blink of an eye to get rid of the
yeah.
ball. Like if it's not out, you're getting tackled.
You know who better be ready to work? Nate Landman got to be ready to work.
Oh,
Puna Ford got to be ready to work because teams are going to have to try to run the football. You know what I'm saying? And try to kill some clock and run at them and see if that will work. Because if you get in a position of having to pass the ball, right, down 10 points, 14 points, man, you're in trouble because those guys are going to get after you. And now he gets to come and play on the turf inside of a dome inside of SoFi. Like Myles Garrett, it's kind of how I hope I'm not sounding blasphemous to the Church of LeBron, but it's like when Bron came from Cleveland to LA and instantly you were like, okay, like they're about to turn this around
no,
quick. And it's,
no.
it's to me, that's what it feel like. Of course, it's a
When
trade, so that's why you get that Luca
when
AD.
Bron came here, the city was split. It was like
Nah,
70
yeah.
30. Like we don't want this dude, we don't need this dude. Like, no.
But as a realistic Laker fan, you were like, all right, like this is going to get us back into the conversation again because of this move. And for this, like, if you felt after the draft, like the Rams didn't really do much, the Niners probably going to be healthy. Let's see what they can come back and do. The Seattle are the
I
defending
know you just didn't say the
champions.
49ers are gonna be healthy. I know you just didn't say that.
No, I said if they're going to be, if they can be
Oh,
healthy,
okay,
they can
okay.
be tough, right? You have Seattle, right? The Bears are growing and getting better. The Packers are still a team one hot stretch away from making a run. So it was like, man, what did they do to jump these teams? But now you make this move, it's a for sure thing. So shout out to Les Snead. I know McVay is like, hey, now I can be happy because you give me this beast, right? Especially if Aaron Donald find his way and say, I want to come back and try to win another one, which will be a cheat code. NFL, y'all need to do something. Come on, Roger
Listen,
Goodell. Don't make it
if
this
if
easy for
if
them.
AD 99 comes back, bro,
No, it's
listen,
gonna
I'm gonna
it,
be front row.
they might
I'm
go
gonna be front
14 and
row again. I'm
3,
14-2. I-
15 and
Please look
2.
at their schedule. Please look at that schedule and give me a game that they are capable of losing. There's
It's
nobody
any
with
given Sunday.
Aaron Donald next to Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
They're not losing. They are not losing.
It'll be crazy. So let's see. Remember, you guys can always hit us up. You can hit us up on X, right? You can chat with us there on the Sporting Tribune. Shout out to everybody tapping in, everybody listening in on YouTube, the Misfits Live. You can come show us love. What do you guys feel out there? I love to see what you guys think out there about this move that shook up the NFL today. Shout out to the Rounds, man. They're doing their thing. But let's switch gears, E. We're gonna keep it LA. Before we talk about the finals with the Spurs and Knicks, we gotta talk some Lakers basketball. E, some people are feeling some type of way, but I'm excited about it. Um, but it looks like the Lakers are prioritizing um our guy Austin Reeves over LeBron, which I don't know why a lot of people are surprised about this. I'm like, the Lakers are thinking about the Luka era of basketball. It's not about LeBron anymore. So for, the report to come out that, hey, the Lakers are thinking more of a 4-year deal worth that 40 million a year compared to a 1-year $40 million deal for LeBron. I'm like, sign me up. That will be the best thing. Anything to move forward into a new era of Laker basketball without LeBron James. So, am I tripping for saying that?
No, you're not. Not only has the proverbial torch been passed in Lakerland, but in the NBA, LeBron's services are no longer needed. And I don't know
Man,
if he can't read the writing on the wall, but hey, it's time for you to go somewhere, old man. And I'm a boomer. Look, I'm a Uh
they call me Unc too.
this
That's
move,
crazy.
this move right here, um, is off for Luca. It's
Yeah.
off. Like Luca wants Austin here, then Austin's gonna be here. If Luca
Yep.
wanted LeBron to be here, then LeBron would be here. Luca don't want LeBron here no more. It's his
Agreed.
time, his team. Like this, personally, I don't think either person is best suited to be a number two for Luca. Reason being because all three of them are defensive liabilities.
Yep.
But if that's who Luca wants, then that's what Luca got to get. LeBron was able to get Bronny on the team. Hey,
Yeah. I
Luca's getting
want
ready to get,
AR.
yeah.
And I think that once you move on from LeBron, and yes, you have two guys who are, you know, either nilch or negative defenders. Now you can put three defenders around them that can help them, right? Like, I know when Luca made the finals last, they had him and Kyrie. And Kyrie, he's not somebody that you would say he's a shut down the defender. He just gives the effort, right? And with those defenders that they had around him and Luca, the defense looked much better. Austin Reeves is a guy that actually gives effort on that end. He doesn't have some of the athletic ability, but if you can get a nice athletic small forward, right? That's not a 40 plus year old guy who more thinks more about offense. Now you can make the defense look better, especially if you have a power forward and center that can play some defense as well. So I just like this because Elam, I'm not gonna lie. I said it on TST today about a week ago. My fear was that the Lakers were going to succumb to a LeBron is LeBron. He's been with us for so many years. Let's talk to him. If he say this is his last year, we want his last year to be in a purple and gold jersey. He broke the record here. He broke many other records. He won a championship for the team. So let's let him retire. That was my biggest fear coming into the season, that the Lakers would just miss the whole big picture that this is now Luka's team and they will fall for that. But if these reports are true, like, it lets me know that the Lakers are like, nah, we fully understand that this is Luka time and we want to maximize his ability. And if LeBron is the guy that's in the way, we have to do it. So if that's the case, like, I'm really proud of this Laker team and Jeannie Buss that they were able to stand up to LeBron and Clutch and Rich Paul coming out here talking nonsense about Jordan and things like that. Like, I didn't know if they had the cojones to do it, but it looks like they're doing it. What's your thoughts on that end of it, E?
Bro, listen to me. I don't know why you didn't think Lakers had the cojones. Mark Walters just fired like 15 people in the organization,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
He came in on some Game of Thrones, like, you gotta go, you gotta go. And there's some names that you and I both know that were like,
I was like, what?
ooh. I was like, hey, maybe, I might get called on now, you know what I'm
Come
saying,
up.
in a press conference. But listen, man, Mark Walter is concerned solely about one thing, and that's winning and
Yeah,
consistent winning. Yeah, I know, oh, well, LeBron brought you a ring. Listen, I am a fan of an organization that doesn't celebrate a title. We are accustomed to back-to-backs, if not three-peats. So a one-off standalone that happened during the pandemic that nobody really got to celebrate, it don't feel the same.
I
And
agree.
so, in order for the organization to transition into what it is to become, you can't have LeBron here. You like
Mm.
it's just not going to work, right? And so I think now LeBron is forced to look at not only at his basketball mortality,
Yep.
but where where could he really go that's going to give him a chance to win? Golden
A-
State, if you
And
go to
and
Golden State, that's not going to win.
and
Cleveland,
not only that, E, to chime in, who's going to pay him that money? Like the word
nobody,
is that he's not trying to take a
nobody,
pay cut. He's
nobody,
like, bro,
nobody.
I'm LeBron James, which I agree that his name alone is going to help sell tickets and people are going to get some type of excitement because he
But
gets to
see, if
wear
you
our
looking
team
at it
jersey.
solely at the business aspect, you missing the fundamental thing. And it goes
Yeah,
back to the question that Lojo asked. LeBron, what are you playing for?
yeah,
And for him to say, I don't have anything else to play for, then bro, it's time for you to go. I don't need
yeah,
you in the organization. If you're not here to win championships, if you're not willing to do whatever it takes to win a title, why are you here? Why would I have you in my building? I can give a damn about how many jerseys you sell, you and your son, or how many tickets we sell. Dude, are we winning? Because if we're winning, you know, jerseys are going to sell, tickets are
yep,
going to sell, merch is going to sell, concessions are going to sell. But if we're not winning, you and I both know how LA is. If you're not winning, people not showing up.
yeah. And people want it's time to win, right? We have this great talent in Luka Doncic, and you're like, hey, we got to try to get something out of him. Like we have him at the point that we had Kobe on that second go round after Shaq, right? You like, yo, you have this talent, Duke leading the league in scoring, you know, highlight plays, big time shots. So you want to try to make a winner and build a winner, and you don't want to waste any time, right? We saw with the Lakers, they lost a little bit, they lost some time, but you had guys like Bynum developed, and then boom, the move for Gasol is made. So if whatever you can do to get to there quicker, you have to do it. And we both been saying it. Moving from LeBron is what's going to have to happen. Yes, he was a solid number 3 last year, but if you look at the NBA playoffs, teams that are competing for championship, their number 3 is athletic and can do some stuff offensively, but defensively they are really good as
And
well.
not only
LeBron
that,
can't give
it's
you that.
you got teams that have depth and allocating and tying up all your money, $40 million into one player that's not athletic. I mean, he's still an athlete. He's still
But
athletic, but
yeah, not on the defense end.
he's not a dynamic athlete, and
Yeah,
he's not giving you anything on the defensive end. Why would I keep him? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Why would I acquire him? And that money is just better suited in a player or a collection of players that can
hmm
get you what you need and what you want. If you look at these Spurs, they're here for a while. They're young, they're
yeah,
hungry, they're scrappy, right? OKC, they're not going anywhere. The Knicks, they're not going anywhere. Cleveland, they're not going anywhere. So, in order to compete in this iteration of the NBA, it's more about depth now more than ever. The days of just playing 8 people, an 8-man rotation, and running through the playoffs, like is these, and I love it, man, because
yeah,
like these series have been wars. You know what I'm saying? Like bad blood. We talking trash. We stepping over you. We knocking you down. This is the NBA that I love. This is like I'm seeing the game that I fell in love with as a child, but now more than ever, you can't just rely on one or two people. You got to go 10, 11, 12 deep. You got to have a full complement of players, to mix and match that, to where your bench doesn't fall off. You put your,
yeah.
your bench in the game
Gotta have
and,
depth.
they blow a lead. Yeah.
And if you don't have that depth, it's not just about having 3-star players. Like you saw what happened to the Thunder. right? They lost because they were without Mitchell. They were without J Dub, to where it took away their depth. Now you were depending upon your top guys to be above mean, right? SGA showed up, but then you have Chet with only scoring 4 points. Like, having that depth is key. Both teams that are in the NBA Finals, who we're going to talk about soon, they got depth, right? They got their star guys, but they got depth that's needed to win. And I wanted us to talk about this because it was so funny. I'm like, that sounds like a Misfit live joke with myself, Mykell, Mathieu, and my guy Eric Lambkins. Once again, shout out to everybody tapping in. We appreciate you. It's late night and y'all here with us. We love you. We got more fire for you. But friend of the show, Rashad McCants, right? We speaking about LeBron, right? We talking about the Lakers prioritizing Austin Reeves, which is a great look, and we both agree on that. But I guarantee we probably gonna agree with this too, because the comparison, I say, wow, what a comparison that is. He compared um LeBron's career to the Fast and Furious franchise. And I quote, McCann said, I'm just waiting for this ish to be over with. This is like Fast and Furious. It's like, damn, we got another one. And I think that's exactly where like Laker fans feel. And that's what exactly I think a lot of NBA fans, like the Church of Bron, they want to see him play 100 years so he can do as much as he can to try to close the gap between him and Jordan in the GOAT debate, which real hoop fans
The
know
longer
that.
he plays, it just widens. The longer he
Yeah,
plays, it's having the opposite effect. It's like, dog, you played 23 on the precipice, on the cusp of 24 years, and you still haven't amassed all the accolades that Michael Jordan did. Like,
yeah,
dude, like people are starting to wake up out of the slumber and realize Mike only really did all this work in 13 seasons, and here you are playing an entire 10, 11 more seasons and still haven't you haven't caught him in rings, you haven't caught him in scoring titles, you haven't caught him in defensive player of the years, you haven't caught him, in MVPs. Like, the personal accolades, scoring is scoring, right? And
yeah.
when you're talking about, well, LeBron is, the all-time scoring leader and he's this and he's that, it's like, dog, he's played 24 years. I would like to think when you're
Yeah.
when you're playing 24 years, you're
And
amassing
true,
and
yeah.
racking up those
And
numbers.
and especially, like, I give LeBron credit. I always say that he is the most gifted athlete that we've seen in NBA history. 6'8", 6'9", can run that fast, jump that high. For him to be as healthy as he's been for so long, like, yes, you give kudos to that and you give love to that. But with that being said, right, we didn't see Kobe stay healthy. Kobe would have broke the record, right? If he didn't get injured, rupture his Achilles, and he played a healthy season, he would have continued averaging about 27, 25 to 28 points. He would have broke the record, but it would have been a discussion as well between a lot of Jordan fans, right? It would have been like, oh, Kobe just played longer, right? Jordan stopped playing after 15 seasons. And that's what you're seeing with LeBron is just he stayed like really healthy. He never retired, never quit. He just continues to play. And that's why he looks that way. But I really think fans are kind of like, man, like, let us. I've been saying it. The NBA won't be able to fully move on until he gets out the way, even though with the way that Wemby is playing, that if Wemby and them can win a championship, that may take all of the momentum away from LeBron. So I think it's time for him, man. Like, he has no, or at least come out and say this is my last season, because I'm like, what else? You said it. Lojo asked him, what are you playing for? And if you got nothing to play for, I know it's a check. That's what it looks like.
And when he said that, I was upset that none of the journalists
Followed
like in
up.
the building followed up and was like, okay, well, what are you playing for? But when I heard his response, I'm like, dog ain't interested in winning. Like, you can't tell me, you cannot convince me that LeBron James understands what it means to be a Laker. LeBron James, I would argue, never saw himself as a Laker. He doesn't see himself as a Laker. He sees himself as LeBron James, who played in the Lakers organization. He
Yeah.
sees or he saw this more as a business decision, as a partnership, opposed to I understand what it means to play in this city, and I understand what it means to wear this jersey. When you're talking about all-time greats, when you're
Yeah.
looking at Hall of Famers, so many, whether they, retired a Laker or not. Karl Malone was a Laker. Gary Payton was a Laker. You know, there are tons of people who moonlit. Dennis Rodman was a Laker. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like this
A lot of
is an
people wore the jersey.
organization. This is an organization that is historic. And
Yep.
so when you talking about, okay, well, I want to turn the organization, back to the prominence that it had grown to be known for, dog, you fell like horrendously short of that. If that was the goal, you didn't return the Lakers to, the
Yeah.
zenith, the pinnacle.
And,
Again, you won a
mhm.
ring, but in an organization where back-to-backs are the standard, three-peats are the norm. One, Jerry
and
West won one.
Yeah, and we talked about it before. It was I think a lot of it for him is when they won. Like if you'd have won after 5 years and it was a struggle, and boom, they finally got one, which after 5 years would have been out of the bubble, which would have made it even bigger. The fact that they won in year two, after that, Laker Nation is like, yo, we might can run up and get a couple more. And yes, I wish they would have brought that team back the following year to see what was going to happen, and it didn't. But hey, you still got talented player. You're playing with Anthony Davis, right? And other talented players on the roster. Then you get a Luka Doncic with Austin Reeves looking an all-star like, to where you're like, yo, we want to see something, and just not being able to see it. Why I think it is the perfect time for the Lakers to move on. So prioritizing Austin Reeves. And this is crazy for me because I'm not even the biggest Austin Reeves fan. I believe he is a regular season player, not built for
The playoffs.
the
Mhm.
postseason. I believe he's somebody that 40 million. I'm like, yo, we'll give you 32, 35 because we want to build other stuff around you because we don't think you're that guy. But we'll see. But I think the Lakers are onto something. And shout out to McCanns for the comparison. I think him, LeBron, and the Fast and the Furious is a crazy, great comparison. But hey, let's see what's gonna happen. We got this
I'm gonna
finals
tell you.
coming
I'm gonna
up.
tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you what I'm
Okay,
gonna do.
let's hear
Right.
it.
I'm gonna go rent a U-Haul, and I'm gonna go over to Tiger Tail Lane, and I'm gonna pack up everything in this house and be like, "Hey, where you want to move to?" That's what I'm gonna
Hey,
do.
I
Bronny could stay for Bronny could get an apartment for a year, but
yeah, hey,
it's time for you to
let,
go.
where you want to go? And that's the question. But hey, let's keep it purple and gold. But we're gonna go on the lady side, Elam, because as you do know, friends of the show, we are two journalists that covers the team, the Los Angeles Sparks, and it didn't start off too well, right? The regular season, the team started off playing at home, 4 games. You're like, yo, they may start off fast. Let's see what's gonna happen. They go 1-3. Then they were going to the road, and it's like, will this season get ugly from the jump? And they kind of right the ship, man. They went 3-1 on the road, right? They now sit at 4-4. They'll be back here in LA tomorrow with another matchup against the Aces. It's the third matchup in their first 8 games. They split 1-1, so it's gonna be fun. But the road trip, what was your thoughts on what you saw from the Los Angeles Sparks on the road trip as they were able to win 3 out of 4 games?
Man, De'Erica Hamby is playing like De'Erica Hamby. And I
Yeah,
said, in order for the Sparks to be effective, she's got to find a way to get rebounds and get those, junkyard points. And KP got to be KP. And for I don't know what happened, what was said on the airplane or on the team bus, but those two really are the
yeah.
difference. I
Before
want to say
KP's injury,
KP is averaging like 26, 27 a game. De'Erica Hamby, she's averaging 8 boards a game.
yeah,
That's what the Sparks need. Like scoring is not their issue. And I think Ariel Atkins, she's back, I want to
starting to
say.
do some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cameron Brink. I got to give, you know me, like I've been somebody that's been hard on Cameron Brink,
Yeah,
right?
you
Third
were
over.
you were getting ready to get cussed out in the presser.
Man, hey, shout out to Coach Lynn Roberts. That's how you stand up for your players. But as a journalist, I'm supposed to make you feel some heat, player or coach. Damn it, that's our job. But Cameron Brink, man, she has truly become a nice little scoring threat for the Sparks off the bench. And I know everybody praised her for her defense, and her defense is top notch when she can stay out of foul trouble. But damn it, when you're the second overall pick, people want to see some offense. Offense, I know people were mad at Kevin Durant when he said it, but he's right. Offense does win championships too, right? Asia Wilson is a hell of a defender, right? Defensive Player of the Year award winner, but she's an MVP because she can put up buckets, and that's what Cameron Brink has been able to do, man, helping this team out, truly giving them a three-headed monster with NECA, with De'Erica to help this team, right? Kelsey Plum goes down. She hurts her ankle, out for a week. You like, yo, they might lose all of these games because of that. But nope, E Weezy, Erica Wheeler steps up. The big step up. And they pick up a big time win against Washington after that happens. And they played some good basketball. I wasn't a fan of that last loss, E. I was very
Yeah, that
disappointed.
was super.
Yeah, I was very disappointed in that, man. It's like you got the Connecticut 1-8. You can't lose this game after you beat a tough Washington team there on the road. But I'm just happy they were able to get those 3 wins. I figured getting away was going to help. But, hey, it's back home. They got Vegas, they got Dallas, they got Portland Tuesday, Friday, Sunday. Then they hit the road once again. But I liked a lot of what I saw from the team. But now they got to keep it up because, hey, this is a question I asked in the last presser after the close loss to the Connecticut Sun. I talked to Ray Burrell, and I'm like, Ray, you've been here these past few years. You've seen the tough times, but it was a lot of games that they had like on Saturday to where these close games that you're going to look back and be like, dang, if they never
If
lost
we
that
would
game,
have,
they could have made.
if you would have won this one,
Yeah,
and and it's so crazy because I hear people say, or players specifically, oh, it was an early season loss. Or fans would be like, oh, it doesn't really matter. The season starts after the All-Star break. No, dog. When you finish one game out of the
yeah,
playoffs, you looking at those early season losses. Like, had we just showed up and played to our potential, then we wouldn't be feeling, we wouldn't be at an exit presser. Like,
yeah,
we'd be preparing for the playoffs. And
yeah.
sometimes the Sparks look like the old Sparks, and sometimes it's like,
Yeah,
come
because
on,
just hey,
y'all.
just imagine how like we feel good right now. They 4-4. I said it last week on our last show. Hey, I think they can go 3-1 right on the trip, and they did exactly that. But I didn't expect for that loss to be against Connecticut. If you'd have told me that they're gonna win them first 3, I'd have said coming back home at 5-3 will feel great for this team as they prepare for that matchup against the Aces. But 4-4, they'll take it. Now it's about them protecting home and showing these Sparks fans in LA the Sparks. If you want fans in LA to show up to your games, you have to win these home games in front of them so that they may want to get another ticket
Well,
to
that's
come
that's
back to the
only
next
that's
game.
only that's the most pressing and important part. There's some marketing things that you guys can do, and you guys see us every home game. We
Oh
got
yeah,
some ideas for y'all. We
got some
tried shooting it
ideas.
to we tried shooting it to the organization like 2-3 seasons ago, and people were, you know, all up in arms, only for other teams to take my recommendation and my suggestion, and it's through the roof. So if you
We want to
guys
we
if
want to
you
turn
guys want
y'all
some
up.
ideas, we can turn you up for a little small
Yeah.
consulting fee. We got you.
Hey, shout out us. Hey, for anybody out there, if you want to turn up your life to the next level, hit us up, the Misfits Live. We can make it happen for you. I guarantee we can make it happen. Like my guy E said, it's just gonna be a little consulting fee. You can handle that. You guys got all of that. But E, shout out to WNBA. Got some more hoops tomorrow. Like I said, it's gonna be a fun one. Sparks, Aces. Let's see if the Sparks can make it 2 straight versus the Aces. For some reason, they always play well, especially on the road. But when they at home, Debo, Asia Wilson come on that bike, and she Debo's up against De'Erica Hamby. So let's see what's gonna happen. Well, you in the building tomorrow, E?
I'm there all week.
Okay, I'm in the building as well, so it's gonna be fun. If you're at the game, come look for us. Come holler at us. We'd love to talk some WNBA hoop, some NBA hoop. We are friends of the people. We're a show for
Like
the
real,
people.
real
Yeah.
talk,
So tap
real
in
talk.
with us. But hey, Elam, you know it's that time, and we have to talk about it, baby. Hey, hey, shout out to the NBA being back on NBC. Like I've been loving the presentation. I've been loving everything when it comes to it being back on NBC. It was the right move. I love it. I can't wait to see more games on NBC. But it's time to talk about the showdown that's going to go down, starting off in San Antonio. The rematch, 1999's rematch, where I was 10 years old watching Larry Johnson with the 4-point play, a young Tim Duncan at 22 years old picking up his first championship. David Robinson, right? Rest in peace, my pops. My pops was a big David Robinson fan, right? The Admiral was able to get a championship, and now their new guy, their young gun, Victor Wembanyama, has a chance to bring another title to the Spurs, but he's going up against a hot, smoking hot New York's Knicks team. Elam, I felt when we got the Final Four of Cleveland, New York, and Oklahoma City and San Antonio that this will be the best finals outcome that there could be, and that's exactly what you got. You got a guy that could possibly be the face of the league, or at least one of them for sure, and you have this New York market who has been waiting for this moment. The crowd is at a all-time high.
Fever
Like,
pitch.
yeah,
Mhm.
it is the perfect NBA Finals. What's your thoughts on this NBA Finals, E?
Well, again, Lambstradamus. I said game 6 was the pivotal game. I was like, it's a must-win game for the Oklahoma City Thunder. People thought I was tripping. Like, what? They got game 7. I said, if the Spurs win game 6, they're taking the series. People thought I was tripping. My phone, usually buzzes. It's crazy on how this works. When I'm wrong, then everybody want to pile on. But my phone is consistently quiet during any type of season, right? Because I'm pretty consistent. But this series right here is an homage. It's an ode to old school gutter ball, right? Like when you look at the styles that
Yeah,
that are played, San Antonio got dogs, Dylan
yeah.
Harper, De'Aaron Fox,
Stephon
Stephon
Castle.
Castle, like, and of course Wemby, but
Yeah,
like New York, I don't think, and I said this to somebody literally today. When it comes to like fans, like being at a fever pitch pandemonium, like creating a hostile environment that you got to go into that makes you uncomfortable as a player, as a coach, as a fan. I don't think anybody's beating the Garden, dude.
yeah,
Those
no, yeah,
cats
they're number one.
yell
Yeah,
from beginning to end, right?
yep.
You got Philadelphia Eagle fans. I'll put them in that same category. You got as much as I hate this organization and the fan base, but Boston fans, they're the same way.
Mm-hmm.
New York, I think, got the most rabid fans in America. Like they're on some like Europe type chanting and
Yeah,
and and singing and just creating just
they're,
a
they're like
raucous environment.
they're like the Chiefs, bro. Like when you watch
Yeah.
Arrowhead, and it's just that energy is right. They breaking records for the decimal and things like that. Like when the Knicks have it going, and what's so great about their crowd is the Knicks can be a 7 seed, 6 seed team, and they still bring you that energy to where you know how it is being here in LA. The Lakers are the 7, 8 seed. The energy isn't the same as if they're the top seed in the Western Conference, and it's like, yo, we might can actually win. Like for the Knicks to be in this moment, like I'm actually happy for them. I bet you didn't know this little nugget, Elam. At one point, I'm always Lakers, but with the game of basketball, right? You also be a fan of players and you travel. At one point, I rooted for the Knicks, man. because of
Larry
Stephon
Johnson.
Marbury. Nah,
Okay, Starberry.
Stephon Marbury was my guy coming out of Georgia Tech. I saw him at Georgia Tech, like, yo, this dude is nice. So when he went to play with KG in Minnesota, I even got the Timberwolves jersey, right? Of with Steph, and then he went to the Nets, and then he ended up with the Knicks. I was rooting for the Knicks, like, hey, let me see what they can do. And at that time, it was him, Nate Robinson, Jamal Crawford, Penny Hardaway was on that team, right? Kurt Thomas, right? They weren't the greatest of teams, but I was like, hey, I'm on 2K. Hey, you playing with the Lakers? I'm playing with the Knicks and Marbury and those guys. So to see the Knicks make the final, to see any New York team make it in any of the major sports is always a moment because it's the number one market in the country. So for it to be the Knicks, right? That city have seen the Yankees win. They've seen the Giants win, right? Recently. I think the Rangers, didn't they win not too long ago? I believe.
I
Maybe
think
I'm
so. Yeah.
wrong. Yeah, but to see the Knicks win, who hasn't done it and since the 70s, is just a big moment. And I think if OKC was rolling over into this and like say if they beat the Spurs in 6 and they were healthy, the feeling would be different. It'll be like, man, Knicks in trouble. They might lose in 5. But because they're going against a Spurs team that is younger,
That
right?
they've beaten 2 out of the
Yeah,
last
2 out
three
of 3
times that they
times.
played.
Yeah. Last time they played
Like,
March 1st, I think it was like 114-89 or something like that. So like if you're a Knicks fan, I said it on TST yesterday with my guy Grant and John Browner. Hey, like if you're the Knicks, you got the matchup that you want, and you're in a
and you're
situation.
rested. You're rested.
Yeah.
You've had a week off.
Yep.
You've had ample time to recover. You've been able to scheme up some things, and Mike Brown is one of the most over prepared coaches of all time.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna take the Knicks maybe a quarter to get like into a
Going.
rhythm,
Yep.
but this right here, this is getting ready to be a series for the ages. I think when it's all said and done,
I hope it goes
and I'm
7.
going out on a limb, this is Lambstradamus. When it's all said and done, I think this Spurs Knicks series is going to be a top 10 and even potentially top 5 series of all time.
Ooh. We're gonna have to let's see. We're gonna have to see. Hopefully it reaches that type of potential, and then we can start comparing it to the others. But man, I think the greatest thing that can happen, of course, I think for the game of the NBA is the championship being won. I'm going to say in Game 6 in New York with that Ruckus crowd going crazy. Like if the championship is won there, especially if it's the Knicks, it is going to be a moment that you're going to have to sit back and remember in your lifetime. Like, yo, remember when the Knicks won? Right. So that's why it is going to be such a great moment for the NBA. An amazing see. That's why to talk about the little things that you have to do to make the moment feel special. Shout out to the NBA. They're gonna have the trophies on the court, right? Like did you see the pictures, Elam? They're gonna have
Yeah,
the
that's all.
big trophies, and that's what
I
even
hate
in the
it.
playoffs.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Oh, you don't like it?
All you got to do is just put the NBA Finals.
Oh,
That's it.
in cursive, yeah.
2026 NBA Finals. That's
In
it.
cursive. Yeah,
We
I
know
missed that too.
the,
But
the only time I want to see the actual title, like the trophy, is when it's time to present the trophy. I don't need you to put, something on the court to let me know, hey, we're playing for a trophy. Like I know what I'm watching. It says NBA Finals. That's just me. I'm real
but
old school.
I think the NBA has been doing a poor job because when you watching the game, right, in the playoffs, there's nothing on the court that says NBA playoffs. You have to look off the court and be like, oh, there it is right there. To where we grew up where it was on the floor, NBA play. It made it feel different, right? That Laker floor that went from a regular Laker floor to you see NBA playoffs on it. So you understood it is the real deal
It's go
now.
time. It's
Yeah,
go
it's
time.
go time. And that's why just it wasn't on the court this past postseason. It was all off the court. But now, because remember back then, it was like Western Conference Finals it would have on the floor. So to now to see this, I was just like, just something to acknowledge this is your moment, NBA. You don't have a Super Bowl game, right? You don't have a World Cup championship game. You have your tournament that leads to this. So you want to make this moment feel as special as possible. You have the Knicks in the finals, right? Last year we had to endure, which was a great series, Indiana and the Thunder, two smaller markets, but now you have one small market with a super human alien name, my guy Groot, which I like to call him, Wimby, and you have the Knicks. So for them to promote it the way that they are, I love it. Damn it, I wish I seen more things, but I haven't really watched TV today. But I wish I seen more of it. But I'm excited for it. But Elan, what are some takeaways from this series? What needs to happen for one team to win and the other?
Listen, Mitchell Robinson, I think his name is
Yeah.
the center.
Yep.
That dude got it. Like he's the X factor. I
Okay.
got it's two people that I think if they show up and you can't stop them. But if Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson, if they play any type, if they have their fingerprints on this series at all, the Knicks are going to win. Josh Hart on the offensive end, like I know Josh is going to, give you some tenacious and tough defense.
Yeah,
But
energy.
Mitchell Robinson, you gotta find a way to like bully. You have to bully Victor Wembanyama. I'm talking about like not dirty, like not playing dirty, but you gotta be physical. Wemby is very slight. You gotta put him on his wallet. You gotta like challenge him, make him uncomfortable.
Yep.
What Wemby just did to Chet is exactly what Mitchell got to do to him. And then um for the Spurs, man, I think it's all on Wemby. Like
Okay.
Wemby is the most important player, and he's the biggest X factor. If Wemby is shooting threes, if he becomes a jump shooter, the Spurs are
Yeah.
going to get ran out the gym. Wemby has to find some type of way to get in the post and make and like punish Mitchell. You gotta know and anticipate you're getting ready to get fouled. Things are gonna be physical, but
Yep.
if he's relegated to being a jump shooter, Spurs not
Yeah.
going like it's not going to even be close.
Yeah. And I'm happy you said that. That's why I think two of my X factors. Of course, Jalen Brunson has to be great, right? He has to have a lights out series. It can't be he's him scoring 17 points a game. We talked about on TST yesterday. Like if both star players wouldn't play up to par, who can get away with that? And I said the Spurs because Wemby's defense of effect, right? Where if Jalen Brunson isn't playing well, it's going to be hard for them to win because he's going to have to close and make big shots. But I think two players that are really going to have to shine, right? One, OG Anunoby, man. Like OG is a guy during a regular season, they put him on Wemby because, like you mentioned, sometimes Wemby falls into wanting to be more Kevin Durant than Tim Duncan, KG, or those type of guys. So he has some issues with Caruso. Caruso was just too small. OG is a 6'8", 6'9", strong guy that's athletic that can guard him on the outside, similar to what Caruso was able to do. But then on the inside, he can be physical with him and make it tough. So if he's able to do that and be able to add something offensively like he was able to do to help finish off the Cavaliers, I think that he can be a key along with like if he's playing great defensively and his offense struggles, that's when Mykell Bridges is going to have to shine offensively. And then, and vice versa, right? And then another guy, Cat, man, Karl Anthony Towns. This is
Oh, big
your
puss,
moment. Yeah. What they call him?
big puss.
Big. I thought we called him the big bodega, but this is his moment, right? If he want to shut up these critics who clown him because of his voice and the different antics and stuff,
Yes,
yeah, like
yes.
yeah, yes, like if you remember that shot, you know what I'm saying? Like if you want people to push that all to the
LA.
side, come out and put together an amazing
Ooh, come
series.
out.
Oh
Be
yeah,
careful of your
he's
words. Be
with the
careful of your.
beautiful Jordan Woods, so I don't know if he's gonna
It
do
is
that.
June, though. It is June. It is
That
June.
hey, that part. But like, and he's key because Wemby may have to play some minutes on him. And if he's making some threes and stretching the floor, it can pull Wemby away enough to where it can open up for Brunson and those guys driving. And then, you mentioned Wemby on the Spurs side. I'm going to say the three guards, Castle, Fox, and Harper. Those guys have to play well like they were able to do in that Thunder series. And that's how they're going to win because Wemby averaged about what? 24 points, I think, in that last series, right? Other than that big 41-point game to start it all off, which went into double overtime, he was just a good offensive player. It
He
wasn't
was
like he
just
was,
another dude. He was
yeah,
just a
he
dude.
wasn't averaging 28, 35. Like he wasn't in that range. He was a 22 point. So you needed Castle. You needed Fox, who started to pick it up late in that series after missing the first two games. You need Dylan Harper to score about 15 points a game. And I think it's going to be the same in this Knicks series because the Knicks are going to be like, hey, we want to make it as tough as possible on Wemby that he doesn't just beat us. And we're going to trust Bridges and, you know, Jalen Brunson and those guys to guard their matchups. So if those guys can come out and play well, I think that's what puts the Spurs over the top. If
Hey, you
that's the
you know
case,
you know the Knicks have a former Spur on their roster, right?
I know that's a guy that can give some
Jeremy
intel.
Sochan. And
Yeah.
but you talking intel, I'm talking like if
He
things got to get a little mucky,
throw him in there. Yeah,
throw him in there.
throw him in there.
Like,
But
hey, this the team that didn't want you no more. They got rid of you. Like,
yeah,
go show them what it is. Show them how you like, bro. There's so
yeah,
many
you sound
stories.
like Jalen Ramsey.
I really wish I was covering this series, bro,
Yeah,
because
I
there are
love
some
this.
storylines and questions that I would ask that I'm like, yo, if I could just get a quote on this, like, bro, the story that I'd be able to write. But listen, the finals are gonna have to compete. You got the World Cup coming to, the
Yeah,
United States or North
yeah,
America, in days. So
yeah,
like you have the world's attention up until the 11th. After that, soccer is going to replace basketball in the headlines. And so in order to
some
like keep
great
people
game.
interested, it's gotta be a brawl. It's gotta be a
Yeah,
battle, man. And
it
so
got
that's
it
what
got
I'm
to be some great
anticipating. That's
games.
what I'm hoping for.
Hey, so we got to pick Elam. Um, the better the votes are, they're invested into the Knicks, right? And I like the Knicks too. I think they're doing a lot of great things. But I'm gonna let you go first. If you had to pick a winner, right? The final four, I picked the Spurs. I picked the Knicks. Before the playoffs, I said Spurs. I was like, if the Spurs can get through get through, that first round and get through a tough test in Denver or Minnesota, I was like, I think they can beat the Thunder because the regular season told me something. And I was right. On the other side, I had picked Boston. I thought Boston was putting it together at the right time. And that I thought they were going to beat Philly and see the Knicks and beat them,
So
but
who
they
you
let
got
me
in this
down.
series? Who do you
So,
have in this series?
man, this one is such a toss up. Like, I'm not going to lie, but I think that everything is falling in place for the Knicks, bro. Like, I think that the Knicks are just playing some really great basketball. And like I said, if they were playing the Thunder and the Thunder were healthy coming in and winning in six, knocking off Wemby and them, I would have said, oh, Thunder gonna win in five, maybe six, being generous. But against the Spurs, because I know that sometimes Wemby can get caught up in being more Kevin Durant than Tim Duncan, that is going to fall into the trap of where the Knicks want to play him at because they have OG, right? There's not a Chet Holmgren on the other side that's running from him and going to shoot two shots in game 7 and only end up with 4 points. They don't have that on the Knicks side. They got guys who are veterans who are like, bro, we want to win our first championship. Wemby, you're 22. You got a lot of time. You may be back here a bunch of time. This may be our only opportunity. The Knicks haven't made it in what, 30, 40
Since the
years?
70s. Yeah.
Yes. So we have to make sure we make it happen. So if I had to choose, I would say that the Knicks win. I would say 6 games. They will find a way to win. If it goes to 7, the Spurs are gonna win. They're not losing at home against the Knicks.
Listen,
But if
this is
6
getting ready to
games,
be a
I got the
7 game.
Knicks.
This is getting ready to be a 7 game series, bro. That's
Okay.
what I honestly think. I think it's getting ready to be a 7 game series. Both teams within the first 4 games will lose a game on their home court.
Okay.
So it's gonna come down to the, a race of the last three. Um, with how tightly contested that Oklahoma City series was, health is going to be a huge question mark for the
Yeah.
Spurs. And like I said, you give the Knicks 7 days off to rest, recuperate, rejuvenate. I think that bodes well for them. Um, the Spurs can ill afford any type of derailment to De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper.
Yeah.
Stephon Castle has shown you that he cannot facilitate, and so
Yeah. Turnover king.
I think this series, like considering health, that like I'm solely looking at health. I'd have to, give it to the Knicks, but
Ooh.
something is telling me that
Yeah.
Wemby is getting ready to be special, bro.
Yeah.
Special. I don't know if you saw the picture of Wemby sitting on the bench when Shea was getting his MVP trophy.
Ooh, oh, he was locked in.
He was locked in. Listen
Yeah.
to me, dog. Hey,
Hey,
if Wemby is on, if he's on that group time, if he's on that alien time, he did. I don't know if you saw. I don't know how much anime you rock with, but Attack on Titans, man. You
Attack
know what
on
I'm
Titan.
saying?
Yeah. I saw that.
Like he got the little celebration. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo, if he turns into a Titan, man, Wemby's getting ready to put himself in rare air.
Hey, it's gonna be tough, but it's gonna be exciting, man. I just can't wait. San Antonio is a good basketball city. I know they're gonna be ready for this, trying to add their 6th title to their franchise, which would tie them with the Chicago Bulls. And then the Knicks, they're trying to get another championship after a long, long wait. Like, and I love the fact, that you got the legends showing up: Pat Ewing, Charles Oakley, Marbury be at the games, Carmelo, all these different former Knicks are there to root for the team, making it look like college basketball when you see the Michigan alums showing up to support Michigan and things like that. So it is going to be a great, great series. I'm hoping it goes 7 games because I think the NBA needs a hard fought competitive series where guys play and don't like each other, which can roll over, especially and LeBron retires, this rolls over to the new era, like WWE. We're going from the Hogan era to the Attitude era, to where it's about to be turned up to a whole nother level. So I'm hoping that it
Hey,
it, it does
I'm
that.
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you how Madison Square Garden becomes the most ridiculously loud arena.
Yeah.
You get one of Willis Reed's kids or his grandkids, put
Oh,
them in a Willis Reed jersey and
have them
have
lead the
them
team
walk
out.
out of the top, have
Ooh.
them walk out the tunnel,
Yeah.
bro. For like the hoop historians, for like Nick fans, that's all they gonna need to see.
Yeah.
They'll know what time it is. They'll know
Yeah.
what time it is.
They're
So,
gonna go
hey,
crazy.
MSG, Nick fans, yo, if you got connection to Willis Reed's family, Willis Reed, rest in peace, all-time Nick great. Um, y'all make that happen. That would be a moment for Nick, like fans, for basketball historians, and just for the culture, man.
Yeah.
That would be a moment right there. That would
Ju-
be a
hey,
moment.
just them being in the finals, man. So I'm just excited. As you could tell, viewers out there, we are excited for this NBA finals. And it's not even our Lakers team, right? This is we don't have nobody, no dog in the
No
race.
dog in the fight. No
Yeah,
dog
no
in the fight.
dog in the race, no dog in the fight. So it's just us loving hoop and knowing how big of a moment this is going to be. And I just feel that it was kind of a win. people were tired of seeing OKC and Shea flop and
Flop,
flare
yeah,
and
yeah.
drop to the ground to where it's like,
Play ball,
yes,
bro. Play
yeah, we
ball.
got teams that just gonna play, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. But hey, we thank you guys who are joining us so far. We got a little bit more for you, so I hope y'all ready for it. As you know, here with the Misfits, we are more than just a show that's about sports, right? We're guys that's tapped into movies, entertainment, music, everything and above. We like to talk about it. So I wanted to talk about this, Elan, because I know you had to see it. Your boy Jay-Z Jigga Man showed up in Philadelphia at the Roots concert, the Roots
It
picnic,
was picnic.
and that man had some
Got some
stuff to get
bars
off
off,
his
bro.
chest.
He got
Uh,
some bars off, bro.
yeah. So Elam,
Listen,
you're a bars guy. What you think?
uh, it's like Mr. Sean Carter has been sitting on stuff, bro. It's there are things that have been directed his way from Tory Lanez, from Nicki Minaj, from Kanye, from Jaguar Wright, Drake.
Oskino.
He's heard all of the chatter, and he had a lot to say. But I'm gonna tell you what, I thought the dude was a hypocrite, man. I thought Jay-Z was a hypocrite. And I'm gonna tell
Let
you
me hear.
why. Because 2 years ago, he was saying Drake and Kendrick's beef that hip hop was past that point. Hip hop didn't need
Oh no,
that.
not long ago, like a few months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. He was saying that hip hop didn't need that. Hip hop didn't need beefs. They didn't like blah 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 blah. And you and I was like, man, what? Like hip hop is competitive. It's a sport.
yeah.
Like I'm at your neck. Only for him to take the stage and drop hammers on everybody that had anything to say towards him as a hip hop, aficionado of lyrics. I absolutely loved it. But in taking time to like really like step back, I was like, wait, didn't you just say the game didn't need no rap beef?
the the
Hmm.
only way I the only way I look at it differently is because I don't think that he's really approaching this with beef. I just think he's like, yo, y'all been putting some smut on my name, talking down. Jaguars been convicting me of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They talking about Drake rapping about things being redacted and me going to an island. Me and Pusha T being inside of the files and things like that. I just figure if you know a lot of times when Jay-Z get some bars off. It's at a concert and he's freestyling. And you like, yo, like, wow, where did this come from? Right? Like he had a great performance. If you saw the set, it was great. He's gonna be in New York in 2 months for Reasonable Doubt,
It's like,
celebrating
yep.
the anniversary there. I just looked at it as I'm just gonna get some bars out. He's not, I don't think he's trying to go and no back and forth with anybody. I don't think anybody that he mentioned is going to try to go back and forth with him. I don't see Nicki Minaj coming out and dissing him. I don't see Drake after just being embarrassed by Kendrick trying to go after Jay in the back and forth because all Jay
Nah.
got to do is do a him and Kendrick feature and it's going to look ugly right away. To where I just don't think Drake wants to put himself in that opportunity. If he loses to Pusha T, lost to Kendrick, and then loses to Jay-Z, it's gonna be like, bro, stop rapping. Like, stop rapping against anybody
But it's
that's
crazy
not for you.
because all the Drake stands, and the bots on the net, let them tell it. Iceman is the most lyrically dense, double, triple entendre. I was like, man, that mess is a a, a warm glass of trash can juice. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I do think Drake is going to get back. I don't think this is over. Drake, took a shot at Jay. Jay shot back. And it's like, yo, you got my attention. Or at least if I was Quentin Miller, I would look at it like, yo, the bars that I'm writing, are on his radar. Um, so I'd
QM
be
ain't
in the
right.
lab. I'd be in the lab writing something up to give to Drake, to give to Aubrey. Be like, hey, spit this and spit it this way. But it's getting ready to. It might be another hot summer, bro. I do.
I'm hoping
Now, look,
so.
you got to look at it like this. You got the two kings of summer, Jay-Z versus Drake.
Yeah,
Who
which
drops first? I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if Drake dropped a song dedicated getting at Jay-Z, and Jay-Z just came with another ether, bro. Like,
a takeover too. Uh, but no, and you know, I just love to see Hove showing up, doing his thing, because hip hop is an ageless game, right? Like, yes, we're still waiting for these new young talent to show up and to be the next Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick, Wale, you know, Nipsey, all of that group. Yes, we're waiting for them. But hip hop is a timeless game. If your pen is still sharp, look at Nas, the run he was able to put together with Hit Boy, and Jadakiss is still dropping fire bars, and you know Lupe, who we saw, you know, not too long ago, still dropping fire bars and dope projects. So to see Jay Z do that, it's like, yeah, like I would love to see some music from Hove and see a smash single that he can put out, and you know, to see him and Drake, and hell, even Kendrick to drop something to kind of be like, yo, hey, don't y'all forget who the guy is right now, like, because hip hop needs this moments, and I know dudes like DJ academics and stuff say some guys are just moments, and Drake is Drake is Drake. I'm like, these hip hop moments are needed. We remember, you know, the control verse. We remember the beef in 2024. This Jay Z verse online is still being talked about, right? With a lot of hip hop podcasters, including ourselves. So these type of moments are needed for hip hop to continue to be
it's
in that
what drives the
conversation.
culture forward. It's what
Yeah.
drives the culture forward. And I don't
Yep.
think Drake, neither Drake nor his camp understand that. I think if if they had somebody that was like, hey, let's let this breathe, right? Like, let's
Yeah.
let this breathe, then people would clamor and want more of your music, right? But
Yeah.
when you saturate the market, it's like, yo, I can cop this anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so
And
I
then
think Drake needs to take a step back. But I think Drake is he's in a predicament to where if he took a step back, then he's no longer viewed as hot. He's not the dude no more, you know? And
he yeah.
he's
He just
he's taking so many different people's sounds. I think people just like LeBron, people are catching up like, dog, like, what are you doing really? Like,
yeah.
why are you on this game?
And he got some things going for him for those chart watchers out there, which I hate that a lot of the rap fans today, especially online, they
You a
not
chart
talking
watcher
about
though.
it. I really don't care about it. You want to see the numbers because you like, okay, that's dope, but I don't. That doesn't tell me all what it is. Like, that don't mean the music is great. I'm more about the music being great, right? That's why I can listen to, you know, Lupe Samurai and be like, yo, that was a dope project, right? What Baby King just dropped, like, that was a dope project. It wasn't number one or anything, but it was just a dope project, right? J. Cole, his numbers weren't crazy, but you're like, all right, that's a solid project. And you know, the chart watchers, they're loving because Drake is number one song again with Janice, STFU, and then his album Iceman is number one again. So Drake is doing his thing, right? Even with that, he got the number one. I, as somebody who's a fan of Drake, I couldn't believe that Janice was a song that blew up. Like, I knew the hook was a little catchy, but just the whole vibe wasn't like, oh, put that on, let's turn up. Like, it didn't give me number one single vibe. So shout out to that song for doing that. But you know, I was debating with one of my boys today about the album, and I'm just like, yeah, to even after all these lists, it's still a 7.5 to me. Like, he
That
was
message
missing
is
more.
trash.
He
It's
was missing
dog
more
water,
upbeat
bro.
records for me. I needed some
It's
more
dog
upbeat
water.
records. So I'm
It's
happy
something
that
that
whole.
it like that's an album that if you walk into a Jamba Juice and it's playing, it's like, oh, okay. You know, you can bob your head a little bit, but I'm not remembering anything
But
that's being said. Like
he
that,
don't
like
really got
Drake makes
those.
Jamba Juice music.
But hey, this album don't really got those. Honestly, I think he was missing. He would should have replaced one like two songs with a couple of those type of hits, like headlines and started from the bottom. Like he needed some records like that to fit with, because it's a lot of it is talking about what happened 2 years ago. Everybody's against me, this and that. To where it was like I wanted
He
that,
a
but then
crybaby.
also yeah, give us some more. It's the summertime. Turn up. He ain't really, even though it's 3 albums, and I don't think he really gave us anything that we could carry over to the summer that's gonna be, like God's plan or anything like that. Even though that was a moment, but shout out to Hove for that moment. I loved it. Hove with the abs Hove afro, like it was really dope. Kanye in Turkey, right, breaking the record. I think he had 180,000 people to see him live. So hip hop is still here, man. But let's wrap this thing up, man. Let's get up out of here. Um, Game one of the finals is Wednesday night. We're going to talk about it. It's going to be a few games played before we're back here with you. Like, we're going to be with the Sparks 3 times this week. So, of course, we're going to have a lot to say about that. What's next in the NFL? Like, is there another big trade that may happen? Hopefully, one in Kansas City. Hopefully, they do
Max
something.
Crosby.
But,
Max Crosby.
hey,
That's the name to watch.
okay, that'll be crazy. But man, it's a lot of great things coming. Let's see what the hip hop, the movie world, getting closer to that Spider-Man release. So I'm
Hey,
excited
did you
about
see that
that.
Mandalorian Grogu
No,
movie?
I gotta go see it. I gotta go see it. You saw it?
Yeah.
Don't see it? Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait. Disney Plus. Disney Plus, thank you a lot. But hey, what's next for Star Wars? That's a question that people got out there. But hey, we talk about it all here with the Misfits Live, and we thank you guys for being up late with us. 11:40 here on the West Coast. So that means that it's what? 2 o'clock out there on the East Coast if you're tapping in with us. So we thank you guys, appreciate you. Follow us, the Misfits Live, Mykell PG, my guy Elam Square. Elam, take us out of here.
Yo, we are the Misfits where we encourage you not to fit in, but find a way to stand out. For Mykell, the PG, you can find his work on MLB Bros, fi360.com, the Culver City Observer, and of course, here on the Sporting Tribune. I'm your guy, 5-star E, Eric Lambkins II, uh, future poet laureate, future Pulitzer Prize winner, future Peabody Award winner. You guys here on the ground floor with me, but you can catch my work right here on the Sporting Tribune. Got the front page story right now. Go check it out. You can also catch my work on Culver City Observer and FI360. Yeah, rock with us. Hey,
Hey,
shout out. I gotta give a special shout out, a salute to Jameis Winston, man. Like the dude
okay.
dropped some realness. Like that's what we need in the game of sports, man. Some journalism that shows the complexities. There are so many different things that tear us apart, that drive wedges against us or between us. Um, but sports is a microcosm of society, and for me, I just think that's something that we need to embrace. But we could talk about that another time. For Mykell Mathieu, I'm your guy, Eric Lambkins II. Peace.
Peace.